starting to feel the pace now, the conditions, the ground.
An extra striker coming on for Motherwell. David Clarkson replaces Mark Fitzpatrick. 19-year-old for 19-year-old. But this one is a goal scorer normally, although he's having a very lean time of it. He's played 18 matches without scoring, which is quite remarkable. What a day it would be for him to change that. Here's Kenneborough. Across it comes to Cragen. Has to go forward quickly for Motherwell now. That's aimed for Britain. Barger wins it. There's Forag. Now McDonald. McDonald scores for Motherwell! Has he snatched the lead from Celtic?
Well, where on earth?
Quite incredible! Look at the scenes at Fir Park.
Where on earth did that come from? We've said that man is capable of scoring fantastic goals, but that just came from nowhere. There's the punt down the middle. Great Britain just back it in there. A miss-hit shot, bounce into the box, and that is a goalkeeper just getting nowhere near that. An opportunity strike there from the McDonald. We've seen him do it before, we'll probably see him do it again, but that is a top-notch finish. What a goal.
Well, it's quite incredible. The 14th goal of the season for Scott McDonald. It was brilliantly finished, and now Celtic have to come again. Foran is down, injured. So is Agat as the ball is launched forward. There's Gordon Marshall. There are 2 minutes left, plus stoppage time.
How important are those saves now that Gordon Marshall made in this second half? Possibly a fault for the first goal, but has made 4 incredible saves in the second half.
Well, look at the situation now as it stands. The title will go to Rangers if things stay the way they are right now. This is unbelievable. What a turnaround, a win-it-on-goal difference, Rangers, if Celtic can't come up with a goal before the end of this match. Scott McDonald may have snatched the title from Celtic with this incredible finish.
You could see that coming from nowhere. Nothing happening. Motherwell had very, very little efforts at goal. A bobbled shot into the box, held up, and a hook over the shoulder. Incredible.
The Celtic supporters totally stunned. There will be 3 additional minutes at the end of the match. We're about to start those 3 minutes any second now. You can see the clock ticking down there. Celtic now sending everybody forward for McNamara's free kick, launching it into the box. Marshall decided to come. He had a punch on that. And Clarkson trying to give it a run. It was handled surely by Thompson. Yes, we're now into stoppage time. There are 3 minutes for Celtic to win the championship back.
Incredible.
These supporters are completely stunned.
Incredible, unbelievable scenes here. Down to the last 3 minutes of the season to decide a championship. Incredible.
Gordon Marshall getting a row from the referee for the time he's taken to take this free kick. Headed away by McNamara, throw to Motherwell, who are in no hurry at all. They're quite happy to take the draw. Real respectability. What a performance they've given, Motherwell. They were totally outplayed for the first half hour of the second half, and Gordon Marshall kept them in the game. That's gone for a goal kick. Flick on from Sutton. It's launched away by Corrigan. Only chance here for McDonald. He's on his own. Britton's in the middle. Wants to cut back. Could be a second. Here's McDonald again. He scored again. 2-1 to Motherwell.
Unbelievable scenes. Terry Butcher absolutely delighted. But that was just down to poor defending, it must be said. The long clearance.
The Celtic fans are begging for the exits. They reckon there's no way back now. They need to score twice in the remaining part of stoppage time.
Oh, just poor defending that. Players pushing forward, not picking up for the well defenders, but what a great finish that is. Another great little clip, just taking a deflection off Barger's foot. But that, I think, could be that for Celtic. Chances were there to be taken today, haven't been taken.
And the game is finished at Easter Road. Rangers have won. Celtic need to score twice in the last minute to save the title. Otherwise, the title will go to Ibrox.
Incredible scenes here, unbelievable scenes, it must be said. Celtic have had the better of the chances, have not taken the chances, and now find themselves in a big hole.
Here's Chris Sutton now for Celtic. Bellamy breaks to the left, can't get to that. This might well be the last kick of the season from Gordon Marshall. He'll take a full 15 seconds remaining for this. Well, what this is a season which is turned and twisted constantly.
We saw it here, the last game here. Motherwell 2-0 down, got themselves back to 2-all, but went down to a Craig.
And that's what it means to so many supporters.
Incredible scenes.
Played away by Kinneborough. Headed on by Varga. This is Brian Kerr. A chase again for McDonald. Surely can get a hat-trick. Then he goes again. Down he goes, hopefully. No real chance of a penalty there. Lennon now to Mick Thompson. We're into the additional time added on after the 3 minutes. Still Celtic trying to come forward. That's launched to the far post, and Gordon Marshall is scorching behind. Surely now the die is cast for Celtic and for Martin O'Neill.
Incredible scenes, Martin O'Neill. We said before the chances that were coming fast and furious for Celtic. That is the game over.
Final whistle goes! The championship has been lost by Celtic in the closing 5 minutes at Fir Park. Terry Butcher has put out a team which has won the title effectively for Rangers, although more importantly for him, won the match for Motherwell.
They know they've thrown it away.
Well, that's quite incredible. Let's find out what's happening on Easter Road.
Well, absolutely incredible scenes here at Easter Road. And of course, who was involved in the Rangers goal? It was an own goal by Gary Caldwell, but it was a fine build-up. Barry Ferguson got a touch through. Buffel was involved. Lovely touch by Purcell. Nova cut in from the right-hand side. And of course, the championship trophy now will be taking off from Cumbernauld Airport and making the journey most of us thought it would not make. It's coming east instead of going to Motherwell. And the scenes over there, absolutely incredible. Alec McLeish has taken the players back to the dressing room. And it's Ibrox Stadium all over again from 2 years ago. And it was Alec McLeish today who signalled it was over at Fir Park. And a very short time later, Kenny Clark blew the final whistle here. Celtic leading right through to the closing stages. A Chris Sutton goal early on. Rangers huffed and puffed all afternoon, but made the breakthrough after an hour. And some people maybe still don't believe it. They want it confirmed on the phone, but some believe.
Well, if you look at this game, that we watched this afternoon, the Rangers definitely not at their best, but they did enough just to get that one goal, just to give them that win, and it came from Nacho Novo. And wasn't having his best afternoon, but it's certainly enough to win this game. And with that goal, delivers the Scottish Premier League to Rangers.
You know, we could go on, and people will, about the quality of play in the SPL this season, but that's for another day. I mean, this is an incredible turnaround by any standards. These fans are going to have the most fantastic day and night out, and maybe the most fantastic week. And of course, the Hibs fans are joining in now as well, because it's a day of celebration for them.
Yeah, which makes it even more special, the fact that...
Contrasting pictures, sorry Trevor, contrasting pictures from Fir Park. And absolutely devastated, the Celtic fans. Quite amazing today. Lack of goals by the Old Firm. I mean, Rangers getting one, Celtic getting one, against the two teams who had the worst defensive records in the top six. Stuart McCall, we saw there just among the supporters. remember that day back in 1975, Jock Wallace running onto the field. The old open terraces. It's changed days now. This ground has been rebuilt, and it hasn't seen a day like this. Well, there's a former Rangers player who enjoyed a few successes, but I don't think one quite as dramatic as this one.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Stuart right in there, in the heart of the Rangers support. I've lost him. He's in there somewhere. But yeah, what a day for these supporters. I don't know if they were believing it though. We saw the banner "Keep Believing." 5 minutes to go. Nothing was happening really at Motherwell, and then those 2 goals turned it around from Scott McDonald. Absolutely unbelievable stuff.
So let's have a look at the goal, and certainly it was good build up there.
Well, we talked about a little bit of quality, and that was quality from Buffo. Purcell getting in there, the ball eventually ended its way in the back of the net. Novo claiming it, Alex McLeish enjoying the moment, and that's what he came to Easter Road for today. Had to get the noses in front, and once the game settled down there, kept possession, Hibs defended well, and then it was all about what was happening elsewhere.
Well, they have the mounted police on the field now to keep order here as preparations are made for the arrival of the championship trophy. So the helicopter heading here as quickly as possible. Let's hope the pilot brought too much with him today and didn't get complacent. Yeah, he's seen a few championships in his time. What if there's a bet on to get a haircut and shave the beard? Well, I wonder how Alex McLeish must be feeling at the moment. He was such a great competitor as a player, and he would come here today hoping and thinking he could perhaps do it, but even though we were saying in the last 10-15 minutes of the game, Trevor, it could still happen, it was so unlikely.
Well, but it was just about 1 goal. Celtic were leading Motherwell 1-0. It just took one moment to happen, and it did happen through Scott McDonald, and everything changed here. And Alex McLeish will be enjoying, I'm sure, the champagne in the dressing room at the moment. Keen to get his hands on the Scottish Premier League trophy once again.
Well, Alex McLeish stood by his 11 players from last week, and he stood by them again for the second half here this afternoon. And the men who have clinched this 51st championship for Rangers begins with Dutchman Ronald Waterhouse, who was brought in at the age of 34 to cover for Stefan Klaas. I think when Rangers lost Klaas, a lot of people, including their own fans, must have thought it was a huge blow from which they might not recover, but he came in, a man who's won 10 international caps for Holland. He actually played against Rangers for PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. 3 championship medals he has with PSV, so he's the goalkeeper today. And you read through the other names, another Dutchman, Fernando Rickson, then Thomas Buffel, the Belgian, Marvin Andrews, who's played on despite his injury problems, Barry Ferguson back from Blackburn Rovers. He led Rangers as captain to the championship 2 years ago, exiled in England, back, and glory again for him. Shota Arveladze, in his last game for Rangers, he played so well in that first half, he gave everything of himself in the second, took a bad head knock, he recovered, he got on with things. At the age of 32, the Georgian international has picked up another championship medal. Alec Ray at the age of 35, freed by Rangers many years ago, and been round by Falkirk, Millwall, Sunderland and Wolves. He's come back now and won a championship medal. Dado Perso, I mentioned earlier, a year ago this very week, was playing in the Champions League final. And Nacho Novo, Soterios Kyriakos and Michael Ball. Those are the men who achieved what seemed impossible this afternoon. And let's now go down trackside to the tunnel to Michael Douglas, who we hope is with Alec McLeish.
Alex, Premier League champions 2004-2005. How on earth did you sum up that afternoon?
I mean, the last few minutes was unbelievable when I heard the roar from the Rangers fans, who said that we'd be kept aware of events elsewhere with the cheers of the crowd. The Hibs fans obviously cheered the Celtic result, and but we knew at half time that we only had to score a goal and Motherwell could equalise, then the championship would be ours.
2 or 3 minutes to go, Rangers were 1-0 up, Celtic were still ahead. Did you think it was perhaps slipping away at that stage?
Well, you know, Doc McGuinness actually said he had a dream that we would win 1-0 and Celtic would draw one each and lose a goal in the last 10 minutes. And God, that big guy's called so many right. I think I'll need to ask him to fill in my Pools coupon.
How does it feel? Has it sunk in yet?
I don't think it has. It's a wee bit surprising, you know, the fact it wasn't in our hands, and I was a wee bit in limbo over the last week. But the important thing was these players were magnificent today. We didn't get a breakthrough. We didn't have too many defensive problems. Thought Kyriakos and Big Marvin were immense. And then we kept the patience. We got a great breakthrough. Thomas missed a chance. Could have put his head down, but provided the clincher for Nacho.
It's been an incredible season of ups and downs, twists and turns, but they don't come much more dramatic than this afternoon.
No, championship's a championship, and when you go the whole season and you come out winners, then I think you deserve it.
How does the feeling compare to 2 seasons ago when it was clinched on the final day?
Well, that was well, it's a different reaction I had then, but I think when it does sink in, this will be even better.
Alex, well done once again today. We'll let you get back to the celebrations.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Motherwell apparently had nothing to play for. It certainly didn't look that way in the closing minutes at Fir Park as they turned the title race on its head right at the end. 2 goals from Scott McDonald. On 88 minutes, Celtic were 1 up and heading for the title. But McDonald's 14th and 15th goals of the season, fantastic finishes, gave Terry Butcher's team the win, a win even they must have written off at that stage. But they kept going right to the whistle. Massive credit to them for that. And now these Motherwell fans have a big celebration to end their season. 2-1 winners against Celtic at Fir Park. They've denied Celtic the title, and they've set up the Rangers fans for the title party. It's they now who are communicating the good news all around the globe, I'm sure. Rangers' 1-0 win at Easter Road has given them the championship. What an incredible finale to a pretty incredible season. It's the championship for Rangers, and the trophy will be presented before too much longer. It's winging its way already. We've been wondering all afternoon whether it was going to head for Lanarkshire or for Edinburgh. It's now heading for Easter Road to be presented to Fernando Rickson and his team very shortly. Well, I suppose it had to happen at the end of a remarkable SPL season which has confounded the forecasters. But the biggest twist in the tale was saved till last, with Celtic seemingly heading for the championship. But in those final few minutes at Fir Park, it was all turned on its head, and suddenly Rangers at Easter Road were doing the celebrating as the Celtic players slumped in a heap on the pitch, not quite believing what had happened to them. Craig Burley is with me in the studio, Walter Smith is here, and Ian McCall as well. And I think we're all almost short of words at this stage.
Unbelievable. I mean, last game of the season, down to the wire, both at the bottom and at the top. 88th minute, you know, Celtic are the champions. Scott McDonald, the one player the lad spoke about before, capable in that Motherwell team of doing something different. And you have to say what a fantastic goal it was from him. Turned the whole afternoon upside down. Rangers fans then celebrating. You know, they probably thought it wasn't going to happen for them. You have to say Motherwell didn't really look like scoring. But I said at half-time, while Celtic don't kill the game off, there's always a chance. And in the end, that's what happened. What a dramatic afternoon in the title race.
I hark back, Walter, to what we were saying earlier on. In October, Alec McLeish was maybe 1 game away from the sack. There was a lot of pressure to get rid of him. Now he's all smiles. His 2nd title in 3 years.
Well, I think, you know, when I get back to a bit of reality after, you know, maybe an hour or so or a day or so, and everybody looks back. I mean, I think for everybody that's a critic of football and football managers, and a lot of them out there at the present moment, you know, it's not easy. We spoke earlier on there about having a little bit of turmoil in their playing staff for lads that are in the relegation zone. Alec McLeish has had that with Rangers. His achievement to win 2 titles in a period when Rangers are going through a transitional period is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't think you can speak highly enough of him, albeit the circumstances in both of them were exceptionally tight. It's a fantastic achievement to keep that level of consistency when you've got no real basis to your team. And I think we were looking today at 2 teams, Celtic a team needing freshness and Rangers a team needing stability, and Rangers managed to get that championship.
We'll hear from Ian in a minute, but let's not forget that Hibs, of course, have finished 3rd. Despite that defeat today, Aberdeen won 2-0 against Hearts at Pittodrie. Not enough to catch Tony Mowbray's team, and what a season it's been for them. And I've certainly had the privilege of watching quite a few Hibs games this season. Guaranteed entertainment when you watch them these days, and well worthy of a celebration at the end of the season, those Hibs players. And, well, to look forward to European football for them, Ian, must be a lovely thought.
Yeah, I think they warrant it as well. Looking at some of them there, they don't look old enough to drink the beers they're drinking, but they certainly want it. You know, they've certainly been the best team going forward out with the Old Firm this season, and it'd have been a real shame for them if they hadn't went up in the last day of the season. But they deserve to be in Europe, and good luck to them.
You guys have seen a lot in football over the years, but today was absolutely stunning, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Yeah, I've never seen a finish like that before. It was incredible. And we were saying here that would Celtic miss Rudy's missed chances they had in 15-20 minutes in the second half. They completely dominated the game. They had 4 or 5 really good chances. Gordon Marshall made a couple of great saves, and it came back to haunt them. Scott McDonald, a couple of terrific finishes. Incredible end to the season.
And just looking at Tony Mowbray there, he will not be standing still. There'll not be too much celebrating for him. He will now want to press on. He may lose 1 or 2, possibly, during the summer. He'll want to bring in 1 or 2, and he'll want to build a team that he thinks can actually make some sort of impact in the UEFA Cup next season.
Well, I think that's an important factor for any of the Scottish teams now. We're going out a period where, you know, finances have ruled. Tony's come in there. There's a lot of young players there. He's brought them on this season. They've played exceptionally well. But I think for Scottish football, we need, you know, a little bit of consistency in that. If we can add to Hibs' squad, make them better for next season, even a greater challenge towards the Old Firm, then that's healthy for Scottish football. We're hoping, we spoke earlier about Aberdeen and Hearts being there, and we would hope that that would be the case with Hibs. I hope they're stronger next season, and they just need 1 or 2 players to be stronger. A good basis of young players, and I hope that happens to them next season.
They've set a benchmark, Rob, and there's the guy, Tony Mowbray, there, just went out of the picture. What a fantastic first season in management, it has to be said. But he set the standard for himself. Supporters are now turning out in bigger numbers than they were in previous years. The crowds are back, they're seeing good football. They'll be expecting it next season. He knows he's going to have to deliver. These players can celebrate because they have delivered this season. Can they narrow the gap for the Old Firm? Is he going to get the backing of his board? Is he going to keep his best players? These are all the questions that the fans are going to be asking, but they can enjoy their night. Wasn't a great game from today, but the job was done. Aberdeen, it was just a bridge too far for Aberdeen. And these supporters have seen some of the best football, I think, in the SPL this season, and some of the best young players, and they've been a credit to themselves, and that's why the crowds have been going back to Easter Road.
Yeah, we should pay credit to Aberdeen as well, because it's been Aberdeen and Hibs, hasn't it, this season, the 2 teams who've made significant progress.
Well, when you consider where Aberdeen finished last year, Jimmy Calderwood and Jimmy Nick have done excellent. You know, I think they were second bottom last year. They had, I mean, their key players were fit this year. I don't think Steve Parson had Russell Anderson, McNaughton regularly, and they had them over the course of the season. And they've done very well. And you know, with the type of players Jimmy's looking to sign, they could maybe take another step forward as well. But the second season's always the hardest, as everybody knows.
You know that as well, don't you? Let's hear from the man who changed the complete complexion of where the title was going to end up. Scott McDonald of Motherwell. 2 goals on 88 and 92 minutes. Beat Celtic at Fir Park and denied them the championship. Here he is.
Scott, did you expect to have such a massive influence on where the championship went?
Not like that. You know, I can't explain it. You know, it's great in a way. You know, but you know, disappointed for, you know, it's hard for Celtic. You know, you've got to give them full credit for the season they've had, and you know, to be pipped again at the last day. You know, like a couple of seasons back, it must be terrible for them. But you know, it's all about us. You know, at the end, I guess, and it was great to say goodbye to our fans in the right way.
I said to Terry before the game that it's the kind of game that maybe if you come out with a result, was unforgettable for your players, and that's the way it's turned out, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Celtic played well, you know, through the whole match, you know, apart from probably the last 10-15 minutes. They dominated the game, especially early in the second half. We never really got up the park, and full credit to our boys, you know, we stuck at it, and probably the last 15 minutes, you know, we got up the park a bit more, put more pressure on them, and started to, you know, get them a bit nervy, and, you know, you can't really explain the goals. It's just... You know,
two fabulous goals, eh?
Yeah, it's just touch and hit the first one and hope it goes in, you know. Hit one, you know, I mean, you don't hit them very often, and, you know, it was a great goal, and second one, they were at the park trying to get a winner, and left it, you know, quite open, and, you know, left me one-on-one, and, you know, I've took him on and got a lucky deflection that's went in.
The type that you're not really quite sure how to react. You've made so many people unbelievably happy and so many people distraught.
Yeah, I know. You know, I've got a lot of Celtic ties, you know, my whole family's Celtic, you know, and it's a bit of a awkward one, you know, and I've got to see these people, you know, about half an hour's time. So, but in saying that, you know, they can't, you know, question our commitment, you know, and we went out there and stuck to our task today and got the result.
But you have to be professional, and you've shown that all season that you are that way, and also it's been a great season in the end for Motherwell.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to finish it on a high. Like I said, it's been fantastic, making a cup final and, you know, finishing the top 6 again, and, you know, we want to keep on improving in that.
Scott, thanks very much.
Thank you.
I think Scott McDonald has got some serious explaining to do to the rest of his family about those 2 goals which have deprived Celtic of the title. Still to come, lots more after match reaction, and of course the trophy presentation to Rangers at Easter Road of the SPL Championship trophy. Well, we did rave pre-match, Ian, about Scott McDonald, about the sort of season he's had, and we did say he might be the sort of striker who would trouble the Celtic defence. He certainly did.
Yeah, you've seen him all season troubling the bigger defenders in the SPL. We actually had him at Tannadice for a day, but he was a wee bit overweight then, and invited him back, but he chose to go down south. But he's been terrific all season until he got an injury. I think he was out for a couple of months actually. And he's the type of player that Bo Baldi and Varga, I don't think they like playing against, particularly in wider areas. And he did well in the first half, and you know, he was quiet for a period in the second half, but then he came up with a couple of goals. The first one in particular was outstanding.
So you know a player when you see one then?
Well, so they say.
Walter, was that a Celtic switch off? I mean, goal number 1 from McDonald was the crucial one. I guess goal number 2 can be explained away by the fact that Celtic were pushing on. At that stage they had to get a winning goal. Goal number 1, were they caught?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just one of those things that happen. I mean, you know, we've all mentioned at half-time that, you know, if the game stayed at 1-0, there's a bit of nervousness comes into play. Celtic were trying to make sure that didn't happen. I mean, they bombarded Motherwell for the first 15 minutes of the second half. And, you know, in a normal run of a game, you know, could have gone 2 or 3 ahead at that stage, and then you've got no problem. But when it stays at 1-0, you start to get a little bit nervous. And there was a little bit of nervousness came into their play. Their back 4 went back a little bit, you know, and they were happy to keep it at 1-0. And, you know, Motherwell got a little bit of break, ball getting headed out, and, you know, like kind of mishit landed at Scott McDonald, and as he's turned around, he's hooked in a fantastic goal. I don't think there's anything that anybody can say any one defender or that could have done anything about. It's just one of those goals. It's a fantastic goal in anybody's book, and you know, that set up the championship for Rangers. So I don't think that you can say that you can blame anyone in Celtic's team for anything like that. They've had the pressure, they've had the chances. God Marshall's did a few great saves to keep them out. I think Celtic did as much as you could have expected them to do to win the game.
A real contrast in the 2 technical areas at full time at Fir Park. Despair for Martin O'Neill, so close to the title. Jubilation for Terry Butcher and his team. Here's the Motherwell manager with Scott Booth.
Terry, what an incredible game. How proud of your players are you?
Well, very proud of the players. We had half a team out as well, and they battled magnificently well and rode our luck on quite a few occasions. Big Marsh, once again, was magnificent in goal. All the players are magnificent, really, because they just kept digging in, and we knew that the longer the game went on with Celtic just winning 1-0, that there would be a bit of edge about Celtic's game, because they needed that second goal, really, to have that cushion. They didn't get it through good fortune, good defending, everything else that was thrown into it, and we knew that if we could get the ball to Scott in the box, he would cause problems, and he did. He's gutted because he's a Celtic fan, and his mum's a Rangers fan, so and his dad's Celtic, so his dad's unhappy as well. But his mum's delighted. But he's had a great season himself. I think he scored 15, 16 goals, and you know, he's doing his job, which he has to do. And our job today was to get a result for Motherwell.
It is a difficult thing for your young players. A lot of them don't seem to know quite how to react to this one.
Well, they're reacting because they're reacting well because we've won the match, and it's a big win for us. It's our first win in the top 6 in 2 years, and we've now on 48 points, I think it is, something like that. So which is a fantastic achievement. We've had an incredible season. This is just the icing on the cake for us to beat Celtic in the last game. And I know it made Rangers champions, but from our point of view, we wanted to get a result for Motherwell. And with the team we had out, with the players that we had out, I thought they were absolutely tremendous.
Of course, this bodes well for you next season as well, to come through this kind of experience.
Yeah, it's great to be in the top 6. Well, yeah, we've overshot, we overpunched because of the squad size and the budget that we have, but you can't fault the players. You saw today, they give everything, absolutely everything in the match. And if they make a mistake, it's through honesty, it's through a desire to do well, rather than anything sinister. These players will never cheat the football club, never, because it's the way that they want to play and the way they have to play here. So young and old, it's a great experience for them. And to go through that and to come out the other side with a win, that gives them a great experience for next year. And we've got most of the squad together as well for next year. So I'm optimistic that we can have a good season next year. But, I mean, how do you beat this season? You know, top 6, cup final, beating Celtic in the last game. We just have to make sure that we do our very best.
I suppose old heads like Gordon Marshall are important to keep here, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, yeah. Phil O'Donnell, I mean, Scott Leach is here. We've got some very, very good senior players here. And I think, yeah, Morris was saying to Morris Malpass was that, you know, you're only as good as your senior pros at a football club, because the senior pros will take care of themselves, of the club and the young players. And we have some fantastic senior pros here. So, in the end, we're delighted with our season. We're delighted everybody has made a magnificent contribution. So, they can have a short rest now, back on June the 27th, and we all start again.
Well, enjoying that wine tonight, okay?
I'm going to have more than one. You gave me a very nice bottle of wine. Thank you very much, Scott. And I shall enjoy that, and I shall also enjoy several others, I think.
Very well done.
Thank you.
No clouds for Rangers, just a silver lining. There's the trophy. It's arrived at Easter Road ahead of the presentation. It will be presented shortly to Fernando Rickson. The man whose shot deflected off Gary Caldwell into the Hibs net for the only goal of the game, which won Rangers the title, was struck by Nacho Novo. Here he is with Michael Douglas.
Nacho, congratulations. What an incredible afternoon. How was that for you?
It's a great feeling, and well, the team is played really well, and I can't believe it. You know, it's good feeling, and you know, Rangers fans need that. It's been all season for all season with us in the good moments and the bad moments. Actually, with me after 11 players no score, and in the last game is scored the important goal, you know, and give a league. I actually no believer and enjoy and dedicate for all the fans, for my girlfriend, and for the two wee boys, Ross and Dylan, and all his family has always been with me in the good and bad moments.
What did the players think when they heard that cheer from the Rangers fans towards the end of the match?
I don't know. I don't know. Is everyone nervous? I don't know if the referee say finish or I don't know. I don't know, but actually it's a great feeling, and go enjoy with the fans and with the team. It's been the best this season.
Can you believe you've won the title? It came down to literally the last kick of the ball.
I can't believe it. This is the first, if I'm honest, the first is we were down in the first half and we missed that chance. But after a great ball for Thomas and finish, and that's it. Win the title.
And what does it mean to you in your first season at the club?
Well, for me, I never have that experience, and actually, it's quite happy for that. Everyone is working hard for that, and go to continue like that.
Well done, Nacho. Enjoy the celebrations
tonight. Thank you very much. Cheers.
This lot will enjoy the celebrations tonight, no doubt about that. They're waiting in the sunshine at Easter Road, but no complaints. They'll wait long enough, as long as that trophy eventually emerges down the tunnel onto the pitch to be presented to Rangers as champions. Two sides to every story. Celebrations coming up for Rangers. Heartbreak for Celtic. Here's the manager, Martin O'Neill.
Martin, what can you say? It must be incredibly painful to happen to you again on the last day.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very disappointing, obviously. I mean, we had enough chances to have won the game by 6 or 7 goals. You always felt that when you couldn't get the second goal, that it was always going to be difficult. And Motherwell sensed that, you know, just it didn't matter to them really whether they got beaten 2-0 in the game. They started to come forward towards the end of the match. We hadn't killed the game off, and you suffered the consequences.
Alan Thompson said on Friday that it was unthinkable to come here and to not leave with the championship. Is that the way it's been borne out? Is it so painful for the players to think about that?
Yeah, of course it's painful. Absolutely, it's very, very disappointing. We're sitting with 87 minutes on the clock. We're in control. That's the way it's it's been difficult. There's no doubt about it. It's been a terrific effort by the players right through the whole season, and we've just come up short at the very, very end of the game. But you know, we'll come back. We'll come bouncing back again. Make no mistake about it. 2003 was a big disappointment, both the UEFA Cup final and then losing in the final day, and the team come roaring back the next year. So everybody seems to want to talk about next year's, you know, when this year's not finished. So I might as well join the queue. But overall,
what have you said to players, Martin, in there?
Well, it's not. There's nothing to say to players. You know, they're absolutely gutted, and it's really disappointing day. As I said to you earlier, we've got the goal. We're in control of the game. But when I say in control of the game, you have to get the second goal in the match, and we had some unbelievable chances to do so. We spurned them all, and that's what happens.
Was that the main objective at half-time, to get that second goal? Was that said in there?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Of course, the longer the game goes on at 1-0, then you tend to try and hold on to what you have, knowing that the side that you're playing against will just then go for broke in the last 10 or 15 minutes. As it turns out, that's exactly what happened, and Motherwell got the goals. The second goal is really immaterial at that particular stage, because we had to try and win the game, and Motherwell getting the second goal on the break, it's a bit reminiscent really of 2003. That wasn't the real concern. It was the concern, obviously, the equalising goal, which with only a couple of minutes to go didn't give us much chance to get another one.
Martin, you did mention the future. What is the situation with your future and the club?
I've absolutely nothing to say about it. Nothing at all.
So you're waving to the fans towards the end. Was that just waving to the fans for the support today, or was that waving bye-bye?
The support that has been terrific here. You know, it's absolutely marvellous. The away support is just sensational. They've got behind the team. They do so. I go to the crowd every single game, and I did so today.
There has been mixed signals that have come, because on Friday you mentioned looking forward to rebuilding a side for next season, a new era, but also that you may not be at the club.
You can keep going forever, whatever you're in. That's your job. So there is absolutely no word whatsoever coming from me on my future situation.
How do you lift yourselves now for the cup final?
Well, it will be difficult for a day or two. We have to. I know it's a great match to look forward to. We've got that, but disappointing today, and we'll think about it later on.
Okay, Martin. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Martin.
So Martin O'Neill says we'll come bouncing back next season, but will he be at the helm? He was non-committal there about his future. It's the cup final, of course, next weekend, and according to the News of the World today, that will be his last match in charge. He will step down for personal reasons, with his wife Geraldine suffering ill health, and the story goes that Gordon Strachan will take over. That's all yet to be confirmed. And despite Scott's questions there, still no answer from Martin O'Neill, who went through the whole gambit of emotions during that match at Fir Park. Delight when Chris Sutton scored, turning to despair. It was joy for Terry Butcher, but Martin O'Neill's head was hung low as he realised the title was slipping out of Celtic's grasp. And as Celtic pushed on, looking for the winner they had to find if they were to maintain their advantage, Scott McDonald had other ideas. Rob Douglas got a hand to his shot, couldn't keep it out. 2-1 Motherwell, and Celtic's title hopes were in pieces, and it was the championship for Rangers. Well, Craig, what do you make of that reaction from Martin O'Neill to that story in today's paper that he's going?
Well, he obviously didn't want to be drawn on it, did he? You know, he wasn't quite clearly made it clear to Scott Booth that he didn't matter how many questions he was going to ask him, he wasn't going to answer it. So I think there's, you know, we said before, there's probably something in it. It's been a hard time for him. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He has got some personal problems at home in terms of his wife. That's more important. The stress of that job, only these guys know better than me. It's got to be incredible. And then for that to happen today as well, you know, I don't think he was going to come out and say, yes, I'm definitely leaving. But the story's definitely affected him, and his heart sank when Scott McDonald scored. As I say, he probably thought he had got there, but as he said in his interview, Rob, they had a bundle of chances and they just didn't finish them off.
You can understand, Walter, why he didn't want to talk about it. No one has any right to pry into Martin's private life, but his public life is the manager of Celtic, and we'll need to know pretty soon whether that story in the paper today was true or false.
Well, in his public life as a manager of Celtic, he's got a cup final next week. So,
is this going to keep for a week?
For a managerial basis, you know, I wouldn't have answered any questions with regard to my future immediately after that game. I think you've got to respect the fact that a huge disappointment of losing the league championship is the main thing. I mean, you know, when you turn up and you're sitting in that position, sometimes when you're in a position, I've been fortunate to be in myself, you've got 2 or 3 games to go, and you're still very, very nervous at the end when you know you can win a championship. For Martin today to go through that and then be confronted with everything else that's appeared in newspapers today, and then it's a very, very difficult thing to do, to go out in front of the press and speak in that manner. He will only be concerned right at the present moment with the fact that Celtic have seen a championship slip away in the dying seconds of games, which is reminiscent a couple of years ago. 5 seasons at the club, he's lost 2 championships, both with fractions of games to go in the last day of the season. It's an enormous disappointment, and I thought he did very well coming out and speaking there, you know, never mind answering questions of a more personal nature.
He definitely deserves credit for even just coming out, I think. No doubt about it, because the disappointment will be crushing. Absolutely crushing.
I recognise him. He's the man with his hands on the SPL Championship trophy, but he'll have to give it up shortly because Fernando Rickson will want to hold that aloft. An amazing day for Rangers. What a title turnaround. Back to Easter Road, we'll hear from Trevor Stephen and Jerry McNee.
So the scenes of jubilation continue here at Easter Road as the Bank of Scotland Premier League Champions Trophy is delivered right in front of the Rangers fans here at Easter Road. And out come the joyous players now. Rangers champions of Scotland for the 51st time. And Adam Purcell, who has made his contribution with 21 goals this season. Barry Ferguson, back from Blackburn. Thomas Tuchel, who had a terrific game this afternoon. Alec Ray, who went round the houses after being freed by Rangers. Marvin Andrews, well, he got another miracle today.
No, it's a fantastic moment for these players. 5 minutes to go in the game this afternoon. I'm sure they didn't feel as if they were going to be experiencing the wonderful feeling that they're feeling now. For any professional to win the league that they're playing in is always the highlight.
And Alec McLeish now has won 7 trophies as the manager of Rangers, 2 league championships, 2 Scottish Cups and 3 League Cups, and add all of that to an illustrious career. A member of Aberdeen's European Cup Winners' Cup team in 1983, 3 championship medals with the Dons, capped 77 times for Scotland. Has he ever had a day as dramatic as this one? Well, I was at Ibrox Stadium a few years ago when Paul Gascoigne scored a hat-trick. Aberdeen were leading by a goal to 0, and Gascoigne turned on the style to clinch the championship. Then 2 years ago, that other dramatic day, again at Ibrox Stadium, when Rangers won on goal difference. And it's starting to sink in now, isn't it? Led Motherwell to 2nd place in the SPL back in 94-95, so he's had success everywhere he's been, has Alec McLeish. Appointed manager of Rangers on December the 11th, 2001. And Barry Ferguson, who raised that trophy 2 years ago, has got that winning feeling again. Rangers also won the League Cup, but this is the one they all want, and of course, while it doesn't give automatic entry to the Champions League, it hopefully will make it just that bit easier for Alec McLeish and his men. back of the ground where he took a big chance. He stepped down a division, more or less. He took on Hibernian when they were really heading for the first division, brought them back through. And he's back here with Rangers today. And how about Ronald Waterhouse? He's filled in so well for Stefan Klos. And he is a 4th championship medal now, 3 with PSV Eindhoven. Alec McLeish signed him from Manchester City at the turn of the year. And the Rangers bench players, quite rightly, taking their place for the trophy presentation. Alan McGregor, Stephen Thompson, Robert Malcolm, Chris Burke, Ross McCormick, Stephen Smith and Peter Lovenkrands out there. And what a great day for the youngsters as well, like Ross McCormick and Stephen Smith.
As I said, a special day for players, and moments like this, you go a bit daft, to be quite honest with you. They're enjoying the moment, and rightly so. A long, hard season, a season that's ebbed and flowed. At times, each of the Old Firm teams have tried to throw it away, the championship. It comes down to the last few minutes of the season, and it's Rangers who clinch it.
So Rangers lost just 1 of their away games this season. That was to Celtic last August. So away from home, the record has been terrific. If they can just emulate that at home now in the new season, who knows what they might win. But today is a day of celebration for all of these players. Maurice Ross there, absolutely delighted. He had his big day out in the League Cup final, of course, when he scored. And that, of course, so well when he was lining up against Porto last year in the Champions League final for Monaco in Gelsenkirchen. He had little idea that a day like this was ahead as well. He had disappointment on that occasion, but today he has the medal to prove success. So warm congratulations all round. Really has been one of the most remarkable afternoons. The Hibs fans celebrated just before this. Let's not forget it's a big day for Hibs and Tony Mowbray. They took their lap of honour past their excited supporters. They finished 3rd today and they have European football to look forward to. They have a young team who can take them places. There's not so much a youngster there, Alec Ray, now 35 years of age. And he's another year of his contract to go. Nacho Novo, well, the goals had dried up towards the end of the season, but he made a vital contribution today because it was his shot that was deflected into the back of the net to give Alec McLeish such a happy day. So to a man, the Rangers fans have stayed in the stand as you would expect. Just in front of the Rangers players. Quite a number of Hibs fans have stayed behind as well to enjoy their day. And the manager receives his medal. Jan Wouters is there as well. He just signed a new 1-year contract. Who knows, the happenings of today might mean longer contracts all round. Remember, Alec McLeish was in fairly serious depths at one point earlier in this season, but he's managed to claw his way back. Won the League Cup, matched Celtic in terms of the Old Firm games, but it looked as though he'd be undone by other matches until the final minutes this afternoon. Rangers had done what they had to do. They needed a miracle from elsewhere, and Motherwell produced not just 1 goal for them, but 2. And Rangers are champions of Scotland. I've seen a lot of these final days, and this one will certainly be up there with the rest of them in terms of the intensity, the sheer drama. And Shot Avaladze in the foreground there was certainly one of the star performers this afternoon. Fernando Rickson needing a bit of a help up. It's a very heavy trophy, but he'll manage it. Rangers champions for the 51st time. So Barry Ferguson held the trophy as captain 2 years ago. Fernando Rickson has it today. And Alec McLeish, with Andy Watson and Jan Wouters, will have, I suspect, the mother of all parties tonight, as will these supporters here and the ones watching on television around the world. And the champions anthem sounds around Easter Road. And Shota Avaladze, who knows how to celebrate these occasions. We remember him in his sombrero and everything else a couple of years ago. There he is, high above them all, and he deserves his place up there today. Himself and Thomas Buffel, I thought, were excellent. Andy Watson in the background there, just behind Alec McLeish, holding aloft the trophy. He's worked hard all year. He's been away looking at players around Europe as Rangers trying to rebuild now for the challenges ahead and look towards competition in football. But let's go to the pitch now and Alex Ray.
Alex, congratulations, what an incredible afternoon for the club. Can you even begin to sum us up?
No, it's hard to put any words. It's just an absolute but unbelievable feeling, and it's like thank my family and also the injured guys. I've had to start of the season. I'm such a part of this as well.
Your first season at the club, if they're all like this, it'll be all right, won't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. We've managed to win a double. We've probably silenced a lot of critics as well. We've got a lot of character within this squad, and we're absolutely over the moon.
Did the players think at any stage today perhaps it had slipped away?
No, I think we persevered and we had today, and we had a few chances prior to the goal, but we kept plodding on, and thankfully we got the rewards. This is unbelievable.
Title wins don't come much more dramatic than this afternoon.
Absolutely, it's went to the wire again. I did say there was not much between us, but thankfully we've overcome all the doubters.
Well done, Alex. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
So this unremarkable season has its remarkable ending. And a message from Marvin Andrews with a religious message as ever. And let's go now to Michael Ball, pitch side.
Michael, what does this win mean to the players?
Oh, unbelievable win for us. You know, being written off so many times this season. The threats have been on our backs. The boys have been fighting back every time. And we deserve this. We deserve this.
An incredibly dramatic afternoon. What did you think when you heard the cheer going up from the Rangers fans?
The Rangers fans have been fantastic again this season. You know, still coming out to the thousands. It was against us today. They come out, the supporters, they sucked the goal in for us, and they told us the news, and it was an unbelievable feeling.
A lot of character in this squad to keep bouncing back.
There is, and as I just said, you know, we've been getting bad press. The players been fighting back. You know, Nacho's been getting a lot of stiff and off scoring goals. You know, we've won the league. I know we deserve it. And everybody at the club, the manager, the staff, all the players, it all made up.
Well done, Mike. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, what would we do without those critics to fire them up? They're loving their day out there. Nacho Novo contributing with his 25 goals, 19 of them in the league. And certainly a player who's come on from Wraith Rovers to Dundee. And then to Rangers. And these fans applauding him and the other players this afternoon. In terms of drama, you couldn't beat it. As I said, the argument about the quality of the football and other matters for another day, but you don't see so many of these days in a lifetime covering this game. And when that initial roar went up from the Rangers end of the ground, no one could quite believe it. But Alec McLeish then signalled that it was all over at Fir Park, and the whistle went a short time later here. Let's hear now from the skipper, Fernando Rickson.
Fernando, what an incredible title race that was.
Yeah, well, it's one of those days.
What does it mean to the players?
Well, it's a big achievement to come back from written off in August, September, and then win the title so close. But I think overall, over the whole season, we showed we were the best team. And I read the papers today, and I think it actually sums it up. First is everything, and second is nothing. So.
How does this title win compare to 2 seasons ago when it also went right down to the wire?
Well, of course, the feeling is unbelievable. But we worked hard for the whole season, and eventually I think the best team deserved the title, and at the end we are the best team.
Were you surprised to hear Celtic slipping up so late?
No, we're not surprised. We were never worried about that, because we knew what we had to do, and we know Motherwell could win or could get a result there. It's hard to go there, and eventually I'm very happy Motherwell done so well against them, and maybe it's a bit of nerve, I don't know, but eventually I think overall season the best team won.
And for you as captain, what does this mean?
Well, after 5 years coming here, winning 2 titles and now lifting the trophy as a captain, it's a dream come true. So
you'll enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you.
So Fernando Rickson, a delighted man. There's the former captain, Barry Ferguson. And what an afternoon. Well, Rangers won 5 of the last 6 games, so that was a decent finish, despite losing Celtic to Ibrox. 5 wins out of 6. And Alec McLeish using 32 different players in this campaign, 17 different goal scorers. And I wonder if it's sunk in yet, Trevor.
Well, I think it just about is now with Alex acknowledging the crowd, the big part that they've played. But it has been, you know, a real season of using lots of players, lots of contributions from a lot of people. Nacho Novo certainly has to be congratulated on his goals, as does Purcell.
So let's go pitch side again and join Dado Purcell.
Dado Purcell, what a moment for the players here this afternoon.
Unimaginable. We think we can win. Now we win, but it was. We know when Mateva scored the goal, and after you see it was.
I could see up in that podium how much this title meant to you personally.
Well, meant a lot. I came here to this, and now really, I can't imagine it's true. Believe me, I'm in a shock.
How does this rank in other big wins throughout your career? How important is this one?
This one is a great one. We win in the last seconds of the game. It's really the best how I win this.
Dado, thanks for talking to us.
Well, it was worth turning up today just to listen to Dado Purcell, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Translations to follow. I can imagine this will go on for some considerable time. Rangers came here today seeking their 150th league win over Hibernian. They did it, and in the process they won their 51st championship. This is a fixture that goes way back more than 100 years. I wonder if there's ever been a more dramatic day. I mentioned earlier the great day when Jock Wallace came flying onto the field, the late Jock Wallace. That was a very special moment for Rangers fans, ending Celtic's 9 in a row. But I think they'll be talking about this one for some years to come. It just shows you should never, ever, ever stop believing.
Oh, absolutely true, and the Rangers fans indeed will not be in a rush to leave the ground, as will the players not be in a rush to leave the pitch either.
Let's go now to Shota Avaladze.
Shota, an incredible afternoon. I've been saying that time and time again, but your last game for the club, and what a way to finish your Rangers career.
Credit to the SPL. It was a great season, to be honest. All the teams, professionally, you know, they get the maximum they could get. Hibs, Waterloo, anyone. You could see how unreadable is the football. We lose, we win, we lose, we win. But it was something you wish in dream. It comes through. That's football. That's why we love so much this.
Is this title win even better than 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, I don't want to compare. It's just another title. Great day. And I'm really happy.
It's going to be difficult for you to leave this club.
It's always difficult to leave the club like a Rangers. But what are you going to wish more than this? So that's a great.
Well done, Shota. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Stefan Klos looks on there. He's made a big contribution to Rangers' successes in recent years. And he's got a bit of a battle in his hands next season to get his place back. But he's such a quality goalkeeper. And if Rangers can hold on to Ronald Waterhouse, as they'll be hoping to do, and they have a fit Stefan Klos back again, that certainly solves another problem for Alec McLeish, because if you're going into the Champions League or Europe, you really need cover in that vital position.
You need as much quality as you can get, and obviously those two goalkeepers would certainly give that. But Alex McLeish again enjoying himself. Barry Ferguson, what a comeback for him. What an end to his season, starting with Blackburn Rovers. Ends up here with Rangers at Easter Road, another medal round his neck.
I must say, I'm pleased for Alex McLeish. He's one of the good guys in the game, but the good guys don't always win. And you've got to earn it. And as he said at the end of the match, if you finish on top, you're champions. That's exactly what's happened. People can say Celtic blew it, and I don't think there's any argument about that. But it's a day for Rangers celebrations. It was quite remarkable at the end as well. The Hibs fans staying behind. Everyone winners here this afternoon. Let's go now. I think we can join Marvin Andrews.
Marvin Andrews, what does this title win mean to you?
It's one of the greatest feelings in the world. And as I say, it's all down to the Almighty God who has done it for me again. And I cannot thank God enough. As I say, the team has been tremendous. We've been ups and downs, but as I say, you can see it at the end, we come out, champions and worthy winners. And I'm so happy. The fans are tremendous. Technical staff, manager, everybody has really stick together, and we are just reaping the rewards now. And I say, all gone to the Almighty God.
You've battled through injury to be here today. Some would say you shouldn't have even been playing in this match. It's incredible.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say. That's why I have this on my t-shirt. What is impossible with man is possible with the Almighty God. So that's why I'm playing today. It's because of God, not because of my own strength or ability, but because of the Almighty God.
There's some character, some belief in this Rangers squad to come and win the title on the final day of the season.
Really good. As I say, you can see the big sign there. Just keep believing, and that's what this team has been doing all the time, and it's really, really wonderful. Really, really. It's one of the, as I say, the best moments of my life, in football, in my football career so far.
Thanks, Marvin.
Thank you very much.
Well, the word impossible does not take a place in the dictionary of Marvin Andrews, and his comeback has been terrific as well. That knee standing up to all the problems. So, the usual message from the big fellow. And what a season too for the Greek international player there, Kyriakos. And the special celebrations again of Shot Avaladze. I think the way the Rangers fans celebrated with him last week showed what they think of him. Let's go now to. We're just trying, in fact, to get hold of Barry Ferguson, but Shot Avaladze there. I think it shows you the affection in which the Rangers fans hold him. And Stuart McCall there, we saw him earlier on, took part in so many glory years for Rangers, and he'll be enjoying his day as well. So the crowd just starting to drift away a bit now, and what's been an incredible day. Alec McLeish, just 46 years of age, the best year still to come, perhaps, for the Rangers manager. To come through hell and high water earlier this season, clawing on result by result, especially in terms of Europe, and Europe's going to be a big, big feature for him next season. That squad will be strengthened. It will have to be strengthened if the challenges are to be met, and it will be the same on the other side of Glasgow too. I think both Old Firm clubs becoming more and more aware that while it's great to be top dogs here, both have got to make a better impact on the European stage. So the celebrations just about over now. Another show of the trophy to these supporters. I wonder how many really felt today in the journey from Glasgow, other parts of Scotland, and in fact from around the world, came here thinking it could happen. But so long as it stayed only 1-0 for Celtic at Motherwell, there was the chance. Rangers get that vital breakthrough on the hour. Nat Chernovo firing the ball in, it come off Caldwell, hit the back of the net, and that made all the difference. Suddenly the afternoon was turned on its head, and we now have Barry Ferguson with Michael Douglas.
Barry, congratulations. You come back to this club to win trophies. You've done exactly that today.
It was great coming back, winning the League Cup, but to win the league, it's great, and it's great for the fans and whatever, going right at the last day. But to win it, we were always confident getting into the game. First half was pretty even, but the second half, the gaffer had a word was at half time just to go out and go for it, and we did that, and we were the best team by a mile.
How can you explain the feeling this evening? It was an unexpected win in so many ways.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, so I've got a lot of
What are your thoughts for Celtic? Obviously, they're a great team, a lot of great players. We thought, a lot of us thought they would go there and win easy, but all credit to Motherwell. They've dug a great result out and we've won the league. You have to think this is a Rangers squad. This is a Rangers squad now that has the look of one that could go on to be successful in seasons to come. It's a young team. Yeah, it's a young team. The Gaffer's still eager to get a few more players in, and hopefully we can do that and we can build on. You were here when it was clinched on the final day 2 seasons ago. How does this one compare? No, this is better. I left for 18 months and I've come back, and this is what I've come back for, and it's great.
Thanks, Barry. Well done.
Cheers.
So Barry Ferguson showing great maturity there, feeling some sympathy for Celtic, and of course that's a feature of Alex McLeish's interviews as well. He talks about his great rivals and shows respect, and it's always a good thing to see that between the old firm. But the fans starting to drift away now. The trophy has gone, and the celebrations, I'm sure, will go on long into the evening, the night, and the next few days. And with the mother of all parties ahead, and as I said, this unremarkable season having its remarkable final day, it's back to the studio.
It was a tightrope, and in the end, Rangers stayed up there. Celtic fell off. Rangers are the champions in the most unlikeliest of fashions. Let's go to Fir Park and speak to Mark Haitley, our co-commentator this afternoon, who I know has seen some strange things in football around the world and over the years, Mark, but today's got to be up there, surely.
It's been incredible, Rob. You know, you say the season's about opportunities taken or opportunities lost, and today was definitely opportunity lost, I think. You know, we've seen over the weekend better teams getting beat. I think Celtic were the better team today, but didn't come out on top. And it's all about, at the end of the day, taking your chances. Martin O'Neill said after the game, we had enough chances to win 5 or 6 today. But if you don't take your opportunities throughout the season, then it's always going to be difficult. And today, you know, who could have predicted this result? It was incredible, down to the last 4 minutes of a season. Nobody could have written that script.
How do you explain what happened then in those closing moments at Fir Park?
Oh, I mean, Motherwell have got nothing to lose. They're always going to push forward. 1-0, when you're 1-0 up, you know, it's always a nervy game. Martin O'Neill, you could see it on his face. You know, chance and chance, time and time again, chances came along, but Gordon Marshall was absolutely my man of the match today. Absolutely fantastic in the second half. Maybe at fault for the first, but you know, them opportunities were there for Celtic to, you know, to wrap this title up, but did not take them. And as long as the game was going to go like that, you know, Terry, you know, took a defender off, put another attacker on, and was always going to try and push right through till the end. I mean, we couldn't see a goal coming. I mean, the Cragen's effort that hit Agat on the line was possibly the only clear-cut chance that Motherwell had, and then, you know, it was a miss-hit shot, bounced into the ground, bounced into McDonald, and just instinctive finish from, you know, a truly exceptional type forward player. He plays with his back to the goal. We said that before his game, and that was his goal. You know, one touch and hooked the ball into the back of the net. The second one was just poor marking. With Celtic trying to push again, but you know, the young man did his job again, took the ball comfortably and clipped it with the aid of a deflection into the top corner. But you know, that's the sort of stuff that Terry Butcher will put out. You will not go down, you know, just without a fight. They wanted to finish the game on top. They wanted to have a good performance here at the last game of the season in front of the supporters, and what an exceptional season it's been for them. And you know, all credit to Terry, but I think chances were there for Celtic to win the championship, and they didn't take them.
Neither of McDonald's goals arose from what you would describe as great goal-scoring chances. It was very much instinctive. That's taken him to 15 for the season. 2 high-profile strikes today. There was already a lot of interest in him, and you would imagine that's going to be heightened by what happened today.
Absolutely. It was, you know, I just said that, you know, opportunist, you know, taking those chances when they come along. You know, I don't think he had a shot on goal for the, you know, up to the 88th minute. That ball came into him, bounced off his chest. There was only one thing in his mind, you know, the goals don't move. He didn't have to have a look at the goal where the goalkeeper was, and he just hooked it over his shoulder. You know, it was something pretty reminiscent of an Ali McCoy's goal against Hibs in a cup final. You know, the goal scorers know where the goals are. He just hooked it in. The second goal, I thought, was a super goal. Didn't panic. He could have laid the ball off, but he only had one thing in his mind. You know, he wanted to put the ball in the back of the net and take his tally to 15 for the season. He did that. remarkably well. And you know, any young player with the ability he has got, scoring 2 games in the last game of the season, will, you know, alert people. Everybody knows, you know, he can score goals, and he has that technical ability in and around the edge of the box, that little, you know, 5-6 yards of pace that all strikers need. And you know, for me, we've seen it before. He's scored classic goals before, great goals, and you know, 2 today would just set his summer up perfectly.
Everyone expected the defending champions to do what they had to do today at Fir Park. What does today tell us about Celtic?
It says, I think it tells us that sometimes the best team doesn't win. You know, you saw the Arsenal game yesterday. I thought the best side lost there, but you know, opportunities lost. But you know, you could see a few tired legs. John Hartson looked very, very tired again. Second game on the trot. He was taken off last week at Tynecastle. You know, I think Chris Sutton's starting to get you know, a little bit tired towards the end there, and it is a tired-looking Celtic team. You know, when you're only 1-0 up and you're still driving and driving and driving, it does take its toll, and especially on the conditions out here at the start of play, very, very heavy, very, very wet. You know, and for senior players as the game goes on, you know, that tiredness. You know, the mental tiredness as well does come on. It's the end of a long, hard season for Celtic. They've had to raise the game time and time again, as both Old Firm sides have had to do. You know, they'll be after top form for every game, because every team wants to beat them. And I just thought that you know, towards the end of this game today, Celtic looked a little bit tired.
How do you reflect on the season then that's just finished, the league season, Mark? I mean, it's been unpredictable almost from start to finish.
Oh, incredible. I think if you'd have gone back, cast your mind back to last October, 7 points the difference, I think you'd have said, you know, Celtic would have won the title out of the park. You know, as easy as it, at that stage of the season it was. But you know, opportunities came along, opportunities were lost. You know, toed and froed. It was back in Rangers' court, you know, 2 or 3 months ago. Then it fell out of their court back into Celtic's, and it's just been such a topsy-turvy season. You know, and as you just said, Rob, who could have written, you know, this story at the end of a season, down to the last 4 minutes? It's just an incredible end to the end of a topsy-turvy season.
Thanks, Mark. A tale of 2 venues, a tale of 2 incredible matches, and the title has finally been decided on the final Sunday of the league season. Rangers are champions. Can you hear the cheers, Fernando? He certainly could as he lifted the SPL trophy aloft. Rangers have done it. Into the final hour, and what we're going to do now is draw breath, or try to, and review a dramatic final day of the Bank of Scotland Premier League season. Rangers went to Easter Road knowing they had to win, hoping Celtic would slip up at Fir Park, but they were facing a Hibs team still looking to ensure their European place for next season, so it was unlikely to be straightforward. This was the Hibs side this afternoon. 2 changes, Guillaume Bizelin and Ivan Sproul in for Antonio Murray and Amadou Conte. It was the same Rangers team as put 4 goals past Motherwell last Saturday at Ibrox to keep their title hopes alive. Referee Kenny Clark, commentary from Trevor Stephen and Jerry McNee.
Connor trying to take on Andrews, and good effort there, and well, Waterhouse decided just to punch that one away.
I didn't need much of a sight of goal there, Gary O'Connor, and Andrews thought he had it covered. Enough sting in that shot there.
So Kyrgios jumping high for that one, getting another touch. And it's Hibs trying to get forwards here, but the challenge goes in from Andrews, and the referee doesn't like it. And a chance here now for Hibernian to apply some pressure. Kenny Clark had absolutely no doubts about his decision there. We'll get the in-swinger here, right in towards the near post, and Rangers living dangerously there. And certainly Stephen Glass is a man that will have to watch at the set pieces. His delivery is so good.
Yeah, he strikes a very good ball. Gary O'Connor didn't know much about it. Just came off the back of his head. Just got the better of Marvin Andrews. He was underneath the ball there. So Rangers would have been aggrieved there, I think, if because of that Marvin Andrews tackle was deemed to be a foul.
So just coming up for the 10-minute mark. Oh, there's a mistake by the goalkeeper. Oh, Novo's hit the post. That is unbelievable. Simon Brown. Well, what was he thinking of there? He gets away with it, and Nacho Novo, who's failed to score in his last 9 league games, was given a golden opportunity. So there's Averladze stepping in now for Rangers to Alec Gray. Plenty of movement in front of him, and as ever, Purser makes himself available, breaking down this right-hand side, trying to get the outside of Smith. Purser doing well, forcing it through, and a chance here for Averladze, and he's blocked there at the last moment. And Stephen Whittaker, I think, making an important contribution there.
Excellent work there by Dado Purser. Averladze almost added to the 2 goals he scored last week.
It's headed on by Glass. Little touch by Novo. Rickson back to Novo, the early shot by him, and a good effort. And that was smart play by Rangers, quick thinking, and almost brought the opening goal.
Yeah, some nice play there from Rangers. Rickson found Novo in a little bit of space. His snapshot, I think, was covered by Simon Brown. He got down pretty well. Just curved away at the last second.
Rickson to Ray. Oh, that's a nice little turn there by Thomas Buffel.
I think he had a chance there, you know, Thomas Buffel. It was a great first touch as the ball came in from Alex Race. This is what makes the opportunity. That touch didn't quite catch the shot as he wanted to.
Still Hibs keeping on the pressure. It's Whittaker. Well, Rosalyn not quite getting there, but he gets a second bite at it. In comes Ray. And there's going to be a booking for Rosalyn here. With his challenge on Ray, and the referee reacting immediately. Cleared by Rickson. The attempt by Ray. It breaks now for Thomas Buffel, but he's quickly closed down there by Scott Brown. Ray lays it off now to Ferguson. For Purcell. First time touch by him, it's a good one, it's Buffel now. Buffel coming right through and goal. And that's another terrific challenge there by Whittaker. Well, he had a very good challenge in the first half, and that was a goal-saving challenge. So Hibs still in a very comfortable position here, battling hard against Rangers. Both teams still with absolutely everything to play for as Barry Ferguson sweeps that one forward. You see the commitment of Gary Caldwell. Now it's a shot at Averladze. Sending in a knocked ball there. And here's Nacho Novo laying it off. And what an opportunity for Thomas Buffel. And Alec McLeish knows that.
Well, good play from Nacho Novo, certainly reading the ball as it came across from Averladze. Novo read it there and burst forward. Played Buffel in nicely. And maybe it was a left-footed shot that Buffel needed there. Waited for the ball to come across his body.
Kyriakos. Looking for ball again. Easily defended by Hibernian. This is Alec Ray for Rangers. Rickson. Ray again. Hibs getting just about everyone behind the ball except O'Connor, who's on a run now. And the goalkeeper's committed himself here and has to improvise, and still well off his line as Hibs try to get forward.
Well, Batros did well as he came out. As the ball held up, he knew he had to make the challenge with his head, and he did it pretty well. Gary O'Connor could have got him into that challenge, but Batros was committed.
Laid off now to Kyriakos. A step over there by Buffel, who has to commit himself. He does well, gets it away from Brown, through to Purcell, little touch by him. Buffel again, he's got Novo on the right-hand side. In comes Nacho Novo, drives it across, and Purcell in there at the near post, and Novo is absolutely delighted with himself. And Alec McLeish has a lifeline here at Easter Road.
defender, I'm not sure there was, I think it was Ian Murray, as he came across and just deflected it in. In fact, it's Gary Caldwell gets the last touch, takes it past Simon Brown. And I didn't think the goal was coming. I didn't feel like the goal was coming. One bit of quality play from Buffalo and Noble, and Alex McLeish is a happier man.
Well, Rangers have scrapped throughout the season to keep in touch. This will be remembered as one that Celtic let slip, not once but twice. The referee looks at his watch there. Alex McLeish is signalling here. Motherwell scored again, and McDonald again. It's Motherwell 2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon. You could never have imagined this. Rangers were happy just to keep possession, hoping for an equaliser. They haven't got one miracle, they've got two. And it looks as if Rangers are about to win a most unlikely championship. And it's all over. And Alex McLeish is swamped by his backroom staff. Fans are going mad here. The stewards will do well to keep order. Well, the faces tell it all. They cannot believe it. Rangers are champions of Scotland for the 51st time in their history. And Alex McLeish returns to the ground. He brought a number of these young Hibs players. Alec Ray come back in the hope of winning a medal. I've got to say, I was among many that never thought Rangers could come back and win this. And Celtic must be absolutely shattered at Fir Park, but this is about Rangers now. And let's not forget, too, amidst these scenes of Rangers' joy, as fans invade the field, that Hibernian have also qualified to play in Europe. Well, I mentioned earlier on the memories of Rangers clinching the 35th league title here back in 1974-75 under Jock Wallace. That day, they halted Celtics 9 in a row. Before that, Kilmarnock had won the championship. It had been a long time since Rangers had won the league. And fans on the field here now celebrating. Trevor, there have been a lot of dramatic finishes. Could you see that one coming?
Well, no, I couldn't see it coming. I have to say that the way that well, certainly how Celtic went ahead at Motherwell, thought they would have had enough to hold on to that. We know how depleted Motherwell have been. And yet, Rangers did what they had to do. It hasn't been a convincing victory here, but it was enough. Hibs have obviously got what they've wanted as well, and that's the UEFA Cup slot. So, just an amazing afternoon. I mean, what a swing in fortunes for Alex McLeish in the last 5 to 10 minutes. It really was amazing.
The Rangers with a most incredible victory. It's over for Celtic. They have lost it. They had chance after chance to clinch the title, Celtic. 7 points ahead, as I mentioned earlier. An Old Firm match in February. And just couldn't do it. Rangers are champions.
And after that, the trophy finally finding out its destination, heading for Edinburgh and Easter Road. Earlier on, we wondered whether it was going to be heading for Fir Park, but Lex Gold escorted it off the helicopter. And Howard from the Bank of Scotland got through the crowd and into Easter Road. And finally, in the hands of Fernando Rickson and Rangers, champions for season 2004-2005, after the most dramatic of championship finales. So, it's Rangers championship after Celtic went down by 2-1 at Fir Park, and Rangers did what they had to do, and that was beat Hibs at Easter Road. With me in the studio, Craig Burley and Ian McCall. We've lost Walter Smith somewhere along the line. Craig, remarkable stuff. Great performance from Rangers.
Yeah, great season, you have to say. Give them great credit. Team that finishes top of the league, Rob deserves it. They've battled back at times from adversity. They have had stick. Alec McLeish was under pressure from certain parts of the media calling for his head, but he stuck in there. He got a response from his players. He bought well in the transfer window. His 2 strikers have scored goals at vital times. A month ago they lost the Old Firm game at home. Everybody, including myself and Billy Dodds and yourself in the studio, thought that the league was over. I don't think anybody really felt Rangers could come back and win it then. But they have done. Hibs went to Celtic and won, which obviously was a big help. But as Jerry McNee said, they won 5 out of the last 6 games. And you have to say that's shown great bottle for them to do that. And Alec McLeish has to be given great praise for his success this season.
Yeah, Alec deserves a huge pat in the back because the pressure was under even as far back as August, October. You know, he was nearly out of a job by all accounts, according to certain sections, as Craig says. And you know, he's shown real mettle to come back. And the signings during the transfer window were good. And also the 2 strikers, Novo and Purcell, scored, I don't know, 40 goals between them. And he deserves a huge pat in the back. I'm delighted for him and Andy Watson, I really am.
Mark Hateley said sometimes the better team loses. Do you go with that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I watched the English Cup final yesterday, and Manchester United, I thought, outplayed Arsenal and get beaten. I don't think it was me. I think it was meaning on the day against Motherwell. Certainly Celtic deserved to beat Motherwell. They made a number of chances, but everybody knows that 1-0 at football, and if Rangers get a goal, it makes the crowd at Celtic even more nervous. And all it takes is one player to do something special or a mistake, and today it was the former.
And let's not forget, Rob, Rangers had the more difficult game today. You know, I think they would have rather been going to Fir Park rather than Easter Road, but they went to Easter Road, played the team that was going for the UEFA Cup spot in Hibs at home, and had to do the business. And you've got to give them fantastic credit for doing that. Celtic losing at Motherwell, I have to say, it was unexpected. After watching Motherwell last week at Rangers, they were very poor. Terry Butcher got a response from his team, and Alec McLeish got one from his, and they've got to be delighted at Ibrox tonight.
Hibs had their moments. They, of course, wanting to make sure that they would be playing in the UEFA Cup next season. This was Gary O'Connor's header, which Ian went just too high.
Yeah, Marvin Andrews seems to lose him a little bit. I don't know if Gary O'Connor knows much about it, but anyway, you know, a foot lower and it's going to be a goal. So it was a let-off for Rangers. It was early in the game as well.
It looked a tense game, sorry Rob, for both teams really. I mean, we were trying to keep our eye in the 2 games coming in, which I have to say was very difficult. But there wasn't many chances at Easter Road, so it was a very tense affair. Chances were few and far between. That could have went anyway as well. Fortunately for Rangers, it went their way, but it was a difficult game for them.
Even early on, you wondered whether this moment might be crucial. This might be decisive in terms of the title outcome. Simon Brown's mistake, and Nacho Novo couldn't put it away.
Nacho Novo is now celebrating, but he could have been paying the penalty. He could have been ruining that. What the goalkeeper's doing, I really don't know. Novo should have taken it on. He should have stuck it in the net. It was an empty net. If he's not going to do that, he should have squared it for Puzzle. He's got away with that tonight. But it doesn't detract from his season. First season at Ibrox for Nacho Novo has been a fantastic one. As Ian said, along with Puzzle, they've scored over 40 goals this season. And when you consider the problems Alex had in that position in the last couple of years, you have to say he's got that right.
And even into the second half, Rangers must have wondered whether they were being afflicted by the problem which Celtic had at Fir Park, and that was converting chances into goals. Here's another one for Rangers. Thomas Buffel, Ian, this time.
Yeah, Novo does really well and running at pace with the ball, and you know, sometimes he takes the extra touch here, Novo, but he lays in a lovely pass to Thomas Buffel. You know, you're maybe thinking of a side foot shot in the near post there, but he blazed it over.
Sometimes one little bit of quality is enough. Buffel and Novo managed to come up with it between them, and in the end, Novo's shot went in off Gary Caldwell.
I mean, at times, Buffel, we spoke about him before, you know, he's a bit of an enigma at the moment, but at times he does do things differently. At times he is capable. It's a good play from him, good link-up play. Novo makes the run, I have to say, cool for Gary Caldwell. He's a bit unlucky. Simon Brown's picking that up for me. He has to go for it. And unfortunately, from a Hibs point of view, it goes in the back of the net, but it made for such a dramatic afternoon of football.
These things sometimes take a while to sink in anyway, Ian, when you've finally got to the end of a long season, you've won a championship, but especially today, the way it's panned out.
Okay, I don't think Alec or any of the players will sink in yet. I mean, it won't sink in until tomorrow or during the week or whatever, but right now it's in shock because I'm sure, you know, in the back of their minds as the game went on, they knew, you know, whether they say they did or they didn't, they knew Celtic were winning. You know, and up till 3 minutes to go, it was an ending that nobody could have predicted, and the players are included in that. So we're in shock just now, but it's a nice kind of shock, and during the week they'll have a great week.
And we've heard from most of the Rangers players, their reaction to that championship triumph. But Hibs, of course, have finished third. They've ensured that they will go into the UEFA Cup next season. Here's the Hibs manager, Tony Mowbray.
For Hibs, that UEFA Cup spot secured?
Yeah, that was...
Tony, an afternoon of celebrations for both clubs, but for Hibs, that UEFA Cup spot secured?
Yeah, that was our main target today, obviously, and only target really. I think we'd 37 games, and we come to the last day of the season with a potential of something to gain and something to look forward to next year. We managed to achieve that. I'm disappointed. We would have liked to have taken a point from the game, just to take something from Rangers this year. But one goal defeat, it's proved enough for us on the day.
You can see what it means to the fans. You can still hear what it means to the fans here.
Yeah, they've stuck with us all season, and the numbers have gradually grown as the season's gone on, and the support, the travelling support, particularly this season, has been just amazing. Where we've outnumbered a few of the home supporters. It's so great that we can give them something back, and hopefully we'll get better as a football club and a football team, and this European experience next year will help in that progress.
Was it getting nervy towards the end? Aberdeen a couple of goals to the good. Rangers one ahead here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was why, at the end, maybe the last 20 minutes, we'd settled for a 1-0 defeat, really, unless we got to pick someone on the break, which was looking unlikely. But, we had to do what was right for our football club, and a 1-0 defeat would have meant it had to be 5-0 at Aberdeen, which was unlikely. And, that's the way the game petered out.
How have you turned this club around? It's been an incredible first season for you.
I don't know. We work with players every day on the training pitch, and we try and put the right habits into them and teach them the game as we go along. The best place to learn is out on the training field, but out on the pitch here in actual games. You can help them on the training pitch, but it's playing games like today is actually when they learn the most. And as I said, next year in Europe we'll learn some more, I'm sure.
And personally, your first season as Scottish Football Manager of the Year, 3rd spot, it can't be bad.
No, I've enjoyed it. It's you never know, do you? I've been looking to make the step up from coaching to management, and it's gone probably better than I could have expected. But I've got a great group of young players. Benefit to the people at the youth system who brought them through, and obviously the last few managers, Bobby Williamson, needs a mention, who bloodied a few of these young boys. So delighted with the players and delighted for the supporters, and and hopefully we can continue the story next year.
Brilliant. Well done, Tony. Thanks very much.
Cheers now.
Yes, well done, Hibs. At Fir Park, Celtic's title chances were in their own hands. They knew if they could beat Motherwell, they would be champions, taking into this game, of course, a 2-point advantage. These were the teams. Motherwell making 2 changes with Stephen Craigan back after suspension, and Jim Hamilton also in the starting lineup, replacing Paul Quinn and David Clarkson. No change for Celtic. This was the team which won at Tynecastle last Sunday. A farewell match for referee Hugh Dallas, and the commentary comes from Mark Hateley and Jock Brown.
Bellamy in the first half, that is, and the goal goes to safety in the far side, and Petrov can't get there in time, but Bellamy again showing his menace.
Fantastic play again from Bellamy there. It's a great ball across. Chris Sutton just couldn't get there, just couldn't get across the defender, but that's a fantastic ball there.
Chance there with Bellamy, he's brought down, there could be trouble, the referee waves play on. Hugh Dallas waves play on, Craig Bellamy can't believe it, and it is really difficult to believe, but this would have been a red card.
It would have been. Linesman has his flag up for a free kick, and Hugh Dallas just waves it away.
This is Petrov. Bellamy to Hartson. Oh, that's great play. Still, Bellamy outside of the post. Almost deceived Gordon Marshall. He didn't catch it cleanly.
Fantastic play, great link-up play. Hartson, Bellamy to Sutton, back to Bellamy. Snapshot off. Keeper doing tremendously well there to get anything on that.
Hartson, beautiful pass. Here's Thompson. Petrov coming to the edge of the area. Turned in by Sutton. Celtic have the lead.
Well, that's what we were saying. You get in them spaces behind the fullbacks. Super ball in there. Conditions very, very wet. And it's who's following in. Strikers or defenders. And that man there, top quality striker. Read the situation. Great play there from Hartson to Thompson. The ball coming back. I think he'll be disappointed with that. Marshall should have done better. The anticipation from Sutton, getting in there. 1-0 to Celtic.
Well, it's good play this by Celtic. Gordon Marshall out of luck there. Brian Kerr perhaps caught on his heels when Sutton reacted quicker. Here's McDonald. Turned away by Varga for the corner kick. To Motherwell, a bright start from the home side. Put in by Patterson. It's a good ball in. There's Craig, and it's blocked on the line by the face of Agat. He's taken it straight on the nose, that header. What a break for Celtic.
What a chance. What a chance that was. Craigan, bash, right in the face, right on the line.
Shot by Petrov this time. Here's Thompson, now back to Petrov. Oh, that's a very good reverse pass. Promising here for Celtic. This is Thompson. Up goes Hartson. Fine play by Celtic.
Yeah, he knows he should have done better as well. It's a great pass there from Petrov. Out there to Thompson, the reverse pass. Just hung up there. Yeah, just a little missed time there from John Hartson, but he knows that's a great opportunity. Just hung up towards the far post.
Lennon did well. Advantage allowed there, but Fagan surely guilty of a foul. No, Petrov slides out over Bellamy. This could be the second for Celtic. Excellent goalkeeping by Marshall. Terrific save by the veteran keeper. An excellent refereeing too by Hugh Dallas.
Yeah, super play all around there. Referee allowing it to go. Great save from Marshall. Would have thought Bellamy would have been the favourite there.
Well, we've seen so few of those surging runs from Agat this season, but that was one of them.
It was a great cross as well into the far post.
This is Thompson. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. It's gone for a corner. Could easily have ricocheted into the net. Gordon Marshall with no chance. Strong tackle by McNamara. Here's Lennon. And now Sutton. That's good play by Sutton. This could be the second again. It's Gordon Marshall to the rescue of Motherwell. 1-0 to Rangers at Easter Road. What a difference that'll make to their support, and the Celtic supporters, I think, have heard that news, so they're not too happy. Here's Bellamy into space for Hartson, surely this time. And once again, Marshall comes racing out to make the block. Kenneberar hustled out of that by Bellamy. Back it comes to Petrov. That's Hartson, and a good block by Corrigan. Back now to McNamara. Here's Thompson. Celtic probing for this second crucial goal. Far post ball. Bellamy nods it down, and again Gordon Marshall makes the save. This time from Hartson. Well, what a performance is this from the veteran keeper, 41 years old.
Great knockback, great technique between the two. Great shot, great save, good football all round.
Here's McDonald. Screening it well from Balde. Battling hard with McNamara. And with Lennon, the ball's out of play. It's going to be a corner kick, and Lennon's disagreeing with him. Now, remember that one that Craigan headed against Agat's face? Opportunity again. Craigan was the man the last time. Steeper this time. Dropped by Douglas. McDonald couldn't get on the end of it. Foran back to Patterson. What a great tackle that was from Sutton. So important. Had Patterson gone past him, a real chance on.
I saw it was at Tynecastle last week. Douglas coming through a ruck of players and not getting there. He's done it again today.
Here's Kenneberar. Across it comes to Craigan. Has to go forward quickly for Motherwell now. That's aim for Britain. Varga wins it. There's Foran. Now McDonald. McDonald scores for Motherwell! Has he snatched the league from Celtic?
Well, where on earth?
Quite incredible! Look at the scenes at Fir Park.
Where on earth did that come from? We've said that man is capable of scoring fantastic goals, but that just came from nowhere. There's the punt down the middle. Great Britain just back it in there. A miss-hit shot, bounce into the box, and that is a goalkeeper just getting nowhere near that. An opportunity strike there from the McDonald. We've seen him do it before, we'll probably see him do it again, but that is a top-notch finish. What a goal.
Well, it's quite incredible. Head flick on from Sutton. It's launched away by Corrigan. A chance here for McDonald. He's on his own. Britton's in the middle, wants to cut back. Could be a second. Here's McDonald again. He scored again! 2-1 to Motherwell.
Unbelievable scenes. Terry Butcher absolutely delighted. The long clearance.
The Celtic fans are making for the exits. They reckon there's no way back now. They need to score twice in the remaining part of stoppage time.
Oh, just poor defending that. Players pushing forward, not picking up Motherwell defenders, but what a great finish that is. Another great little clip, just taking a deflection off Barger's foot. But that, I think, could be that for Celtic.
Lennon now to Mick Thompson. We're into the additional time added after the 3 minutes. Still Celtic trying to come forward. That's launched to the far post, and Gordon Marshall is scorching behind. Surely now the die is cast for Celtic and for Martin O'Neill.
Incredible scenes, Martin O'Neill. We said before the chances that were coming fast and furious for Celtic. That is the game over.
Final whistle goes. The championship has been lost by Celtic in the closing 5 minutes at Fir Park. Terry Butcher has put out a team which has won the title effectively for Rangers, although more importantly for him, won the match for Motherwell.
Well, I've seen that twice now, and I still can't quite believe how it all ended. Craig, can you?
Well, I mean, the point is, Motherwell didn't really look like scoring. It was comfortable for Celtic, but I said it before on a couple of occasions, until you get that second goal, Rob, you don't kill the game off. But you have to give credit to Scott McDonald. Yes, they got a bit lucky when Foran hit the ball on the ground, but what an amazing finish. Back to goal, Baldy was marking him tight, and he flicked it into the corner. Rab Douglas had absolutely no chance. I didn't see it coming. A Motherwell win. Yes, the second goal was because we were pushing forward. Didn't see that coming. Hibs was a more difficult game, and for Motherwell to get a victory against Celtic was just unbelievable. I mean, I don't think many people could have believed it.
And Celtic will look back with massive regret, Ian, on the possession they had, the pressure they had, the chances they had.
Yeah, the first 15-20 minutes of the second half, they blew Motherwell away and made 3 or 4. I don't agree with 6 or 7 that Martin said, but certainly they made 3 or 4 really good chances. Bellamy threw 1-on-1 with the goalie, which is an excellent chance. And he's really a player of that quality. He's got to stick that in the net. And the 2 or 3 others. At that point, you know, you're thinking, is that going to come back and haunt them? But as Craig said, I couldn't see Motherwell scoring. But at 1-0, you never know. And it was an exceptional finish from Scott McDonald, who's a player that I think could play at a high level.
And you imagined when Chris Sutton scored on 29 minutes that Celtic would go on from there and get another couple of goals and make things safe, go on to take the title. This was ideal for them inside the first half hour. Gordon Marshall, I think, can be faulted for his handling there. So can the Motherwell defenders around him, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point you think the word you're thinking about is floodgates. I mean, you really feel that Motherwell are going to be stretched and not going to get back in the game. Celtic are going to win it. Yes, Gordon maybe should do a bit better on that occasion. Defenders don't react. Chris Sutton's the first to react, sticks it in the back of the net. This is in the first half, and they probably felt they were going to go in and win the game comfortably after that, Celtic. But Motherwell had different ideas. They really ground the result out today. They didn't play particularly well. It wasn't a great match, it has to be said. The nerves were there, the tension were there as well, but Celtic didn't kill them off. But Gordon Marshall, who made a little bit of a mistake there, was to go on to have a fantastic match.
Well, he was hoping his defenders would cover for him there, because he certainly covered for his defenders for the rest of the game. But it's excellent Motherwell with all the players that they didn't have. I mean, the whole left side of their team. Scott Leach is a centre midfield player, but he's left-sided. You know, left side centre back, the left back were all out of their team. So, you know, regardless of the championship, it was a good performance by Motherwell.
And here's a demonstration of what we're talking about, the goalkeeping of 41-year-old Gordon Marshall. He certainly didn't look as years here, springing off his line, and a great quick reactions against Bellamy.
Yeah, I just think Craig Bellamy should do a bit better there. I mean, some of the goals he scored are phenomenal goals. The simpler ones, where you feel that he's going to score, you think he should do better. I think back to the early one in his first Old Firm game when Waterhouse saved for him, it was a soft effort. But they did have the chances. John Hartson, Player of the Year. If this goes anywhere else, it's in the back of the net. You can say it was a good save for Gordon Marshall, but he gets a little bit of luck there. And as I say, if he gets a good strike, John, if it goes anywhere else, it's in the back of the net. So they did ride the luck a little bit in the game, and they had to do that. But to kill a game off, you've got to stick it in the back of the net, and it didn't happen for them.
So a hero at one end of the pitch from Motherwell and a hero up at the other end as well. Scott McDonald, this was the goal which equalised 88 minutes. You look for ways of faulting the Celtic defence here, Ian, but this was terrific finishing.
You can't really. I think Richie Foran got, I mean, it was just a long ball forward. Richie Foran got a bit lucky. He tried a spectacular volley. It went into the ground. But I tell you what, Scott McDonald still had a lot to do there, and he swivelled, and you can't really fault. It's just it's an excellent goal, and a player playing with a lot of confidence to put it right in the top corner.
So that was 88 minutes. This was 92. Things had got bad for Celtic. They were about to get even worse when Scott McDonald scored again his 15th goal of the season. And again, there was something pretty audacious about this.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should have put it into Jerry Britton there, who was there, but fully confident. You have to say, it's not so much the good play from Motherwell. The fact that Celtic knew they had to score to get back in the game, to get the championship back. They pushed everybody forward. He's dropped the shoulder here, come inside, gets a lucky deflection. Rob Douglas didn't have a chance in the goal. And the championship at that point was effectively over for Celtic. They knew that. There was no time to come back in the game, Rob. Scott McDonald had an excellent last 10 minutes. Didn't have a particularly good match, it has to be said. Ian said earlier, he didn't have many chances. The difference is between himself and the Celtic players, the chances McDonald did have, he put in the back of the net, and that's why Celtic didn't win the championship.
And in 4 minutes, late in the game, Ian, the title snatched away from Celtic.
Just, I mean, anybody that slags our setup, and I'm sure there's a lot of things wrong with it, but this season there hasn't been, and some of the football from Hibs and Aberdeen's been excellent. Rangers and Celtic, and for it to go as late as this is great for our country, I think, and great for our football.
There was meaning to all 3 matches played this afternoon. That went for Aberdeen Hearts at Pittodrie as well, with the Dons clinging on to their slim hopes of making the UEFA Cup next season at the expense of Hibs. They needed to win against Hearts. They needed to win well. These were the 2 lineups. 3 changes in the Aberdeen team. No Hart, Winter or Blaha. In came Phil Maguire, Kevin McNaughton and Derek Adams. For Hearts, out went suspended Stephen Presley, the caretaker manager, and Graham Weir. In, Sivas and Wyness. The commentary comes from Brian Etherson.
Wyness, decent ball in, headed away by Heikkinen. And Craig Sivas does very well indeed. Hartley over the top. It's for Lee Miller. Ryan Essen comes out with a punch. And it's very effective. It clears the danger only momentarily. Back in by McFarlane. Away by Xander Diamond. Paul Hartley with the shots. And from that kind of range, Paul Hartley can indeed be quite lethal. Muirhead's corner. Xander Diamond looked as if he was up there, along with Richie Byrne. And possibly the final touch came from the Dons defender, and it's out for a goal kick. Richie Byrne gives it away. Paul Hartley picks up. Lee Miller has it. Wyness is peeled off to the left-hand side. Hartley's back in the penalty spot. Wyness, a little low ball, and it just drifts beyond the left-hand post. The touch came from Ryan Essen. Miller's flick is picked up by Michelonius. Slack pass. Well done by Muirhead. Michelonius gets it back for Hearts. Richie Byrne stands in his way. Hearts have the throw. Taken quickly by Robbie Nielsen over the head of Heikkinen to Lee Miller. Wyness at the edge of the 18-yard box. Michelonius does very well. Low ball in. And well handled by Ryan Essen. Severin's free kick, knocked down, chested down by Scott Muirhead. Now Hearts in the counter-attack. It's 3 against 3. McFarlane wide to Miller. Dons come back in numbers, and the pass to Dennis Wyness, cleared by Xander Diamond only as far as Joe Hamill. That wasn't too far away. Ryan Essen watched it very carefully, and it just dipped as it went over the crossbar. Taken shot by Severin to Chris Clark. Now Richie Byrne up against Michelinius, does well to get beyond him. He's got a decent ball in, and Lee Wallace takes it off the head of Philip Maguire. McNaughton has it. Aberdeen still apply the pressure. Richie Byrne puts it across the face of the goal, and it comes off the post. That was rifled in there. Philip Maguire with a shot. Craig Gordon was beaten, and that comes off the Hearts goalkeeper's left-hand post and away to safety. Hamill takes it. This time Ryan Essen claims it. Quick throw out. Does very well to pick out Scott Muirhead. He's been tracked all the way by Michelinius. It's a low ball in for Darren Mackey, and that really is an absolutely superb chance for Aberdeen. All started by Ryan Essen's throw out. A good run by Scott Muirhead, and Darren Mackey, he got a touch on it but couldn't direct it in behind Craig Gordon. Derek Adams back to find Scott Severin. Right foot shot, punched away by Craig Gordon. He hit it with some amount of venom. Aberdeen will go long. Richie Byrne with the free kick. Well, that's another free kick, and again Craig Sivers is walking a very fine line. McNaughton, Severin, Muirhead, they're all around it. Severin takes it, looking for Richie Byrne's header! It's in the back of the net! Aberdeen have the lead! It was a perfectly placed free kick by Scott Severin, and deep into stoppage time during the first half. Richie Byrne gets the opening goal. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0. Darren Mackey out wide, cut out by Robbie Nielsen. Quick throw in taken. Now Lee Miller, he's got a chance, and that just went. Well, the certainly was travelling. It was a good attempt by Lee Miller. Chris Clark to take this one. Zander Diamond is there. Congratulations from his teammates. The combination of Blaha and Derek Adams has got Aberdeen second. Adams with a clearance, not very convincing. Good pass by Severin. Does very well to find Scott Muirhead. Blaha up against Simmers. Muirhead does very well. Blaha should have really got a foot to that one, and that should have been 3-0. Does well. Severin has it back. He's up against Paul Hartley and Neil McFarlane, and does very well to maintain possession. Good positioning from Richie Byrne. Now Lubomir Blaha to Darren Mackey. Can it be 3? No, it's not. Mackey just couldn't keep his feet. He couldn't pull the trigger. Now an excellent position for Aberdeen to perhaps strike for the third time. Derek Adams with a free kick. Zander Diamond with a header. And it's just over. A very good delivery by Derek Adams, and Zander Diamond couldn't direct it goal bounds. Muirhead on the overlap. Dempsey cutting inside. Joe Hamill giving it back. Now can Aberdeen get a third? It's Derek Adams! Will he take the shot? He does. It comes off Craig Gordon. And Aberdeen just can't find a way through. Now McNaughton up against Wallace, twisting one way then the other. A little low ball in! Andy Webster, it was almost an own goal by the Hearts defender. Craig Gordon goes down to his right hand side, and denied Aberdeen a third goal. Now Severin, he's got John Stewart out on the right-hand side. Stewart does very well, cuts inside. A nice little cross, it's McNaughton! And a fabulous save by Craig Gordon. Denies Aberdeen a third goal.
Well, you've seen all the action, and hear how the top 6 finished in the Bank of Scotland Premier League. Rangers champions by a point from Celtic. It all turned around on the final day. Hibs and Aberdeen end up level on points, 61 apiece. Been a great show from Aberdeen in the last couple of weeks, but they fall a couple of goals short of Hibs. They needed 3 more of a swing to make it. So it's Hibs who are in Europe next season. Hearts on 50. Motherwell move on to 48. What we'll do before we go is round up what happened yesterday's Survival Saturday, with Livingston and the 2 Dundee teams under threat of relegation. And even Dunfermline weren't mathematically safe either. So 3 crucial matches in that drop zone, and here's how it went.
Good ball again, this time it's in! Splendid header by Gary Locke. Kilmarnock take the lead, and it's been coming. Well, you can see what that means to these Kilmarnock players. Victory guarantees being top of the bottom 6. It's been an up and down season for the home side. Good spells of form and then struggle for a while, and they really are intent on creating a new team here, I think. Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown, and there's an excellent start to the second half. Brilliantly finished goal there by Ryan Dodds. It was beautifully created from the right hand side, and Dunfermline were ripped apart. Here's Wales, can he make room for a shot? Comes out to Stephen Naismith, and the side foot in by Boyd. It's 3 to Kilmarnock, and now the alarm bells are sounding in the Dunfermline camp. Well, Dunfermline falling apart at this stage of the match. Here's Hay. Well, Hay's gone down after running into Makel. That's Wales with the cross. It's a very good one, won by Thompson. This is Naismith setting up McDonald. That's a great goal for Kilmarnock, and now there is real anxiety on the Dunfermline bench. Brilliant play again from Kilmarnock.
McManus pulls it back for Anderson. Vince's challenge, back in from McNally. Bobby Mann's there, and Callum MacDonald has thrown Dundee a lifeline in the 18th minute at Almonvale. The Dundee supporters go wild. There's a long way to go here, but that's the ideal start for them. Bahoken to O'Brien. Threads it through for Cashlul. Looks to create. That's a great ball in. That is the equaliser. And it's Craig Easton. His first start in 7 weeks. And he was there at the back post as Cashlul did the set-up work. Got the better of Barry Smith and put it on a plate for the midfielder to make it 1-1 at Almonvale. 5 minutes have been added already. Full time at Almonvale, and Dundee are heading for the First Division.
Out wide to Wilson. Can he deliver a decent ball in? Taken off to McIntyre's head by Darren Dodds. Barry Robson's got it. Barry Robson goes down, it's a penalty! Dundee United have the penalty. Now, can this ensure their safety in the SPL? It's Barry Robson, and he rifles it straight down the middle. The United supporters erupt. They know that goal from Barry Robson will be absolutely crucial. Now United coming forward again. Barry Robson going down after the challenge from Darren Dodds. And Barry Robson, well, in fact, there's been a yellow card issued and a red card issued, and Barry Robson, he's turning from saint into sinner. He's been sent packing. That's it. The full-time whistle has gone. Inverness Caledonian Thistle have failed to beat United this season, and it's a Barry Robson penalty that keeps Dundee United within the SPL. And there's the delight of the United supporters rushing to congratulate their players. They had to wait a long time for it, but it eventually came late on in the game as Darren Dodds brought down Barry Robson, and it's his penalty, his single goal of the game, that keeps Dundee United in the SPL. The full-time score here in Inverness, it finished up. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Dundee United 1.
And after the dust had settled, this was the bottom six. Kilmarnock finishing top of the bottom half on 49, 5 clear in the end of Inverness. But what a season for Cali Thistle, their first season of top-flight football. Well done to them. Dundee United finish on 36, Livingston 35. Dunfermline, if they'd conceded a couple more goals and Dundee had won, could have been in big bother, but they've made it 34, and it's Dundee who go down on 33 points. A point at Livingston yesterday wasn't enough. And you now wonder about Dundee's immediate future, what sort of shape they're going to be in, and also what's going to happen to their manager, Jim Duffy. Craig, any thoughts?
I feel a bit sorry for Jim, obviously having worked with him for a brief period. The trapdoor opened for them. The three teams at the bottom were the worst teams in the division. If you went and watched them playing, their football wasn't very attractive. Jim said he's not going to quit, but the Marr brothers own the club, they run the club, so it's their decision. I think Jim's capable of bringing them back up. How it's going to affect their finances, which are not great as we know going down, remains to be seen. But the other teams down there, Dunfermline and Livingston, they stayed up with the skin in their teeth, and Dundee were the ones to go in the end.
Must have been a strange feeling, Ian, for you to have been in charge of Dundee United at the start of the season, but not at the end when they were clinging on by their fingernails.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and it was hard, you know. But I'm pleased they stayed up. I always thought they would, and I'm sure they would have stayed up if I was still there. But I would say that, and I'm pleased for Gordon, pleased for the players, and hopefully they'll put on a good show in the cup final.
Do you have fears for Dundee so soon after being in deep financial trouble, administration and all that? Now it's going to be lost revenue in the First Division.
Yeah, well I do, but I do believe they have got the right man in charge. I think it would be ridiculous to change Jim. I think Duff's done very well. Obviously it's bizarre saying that because they've been relegated, but I think the loss of Lee Wilkie was a massive blow to them. If he'd have stayed fit, I would have thought they'd have stayed up. But Duff's the right man, and he's got a chance of bringing them straight back up.
And a big away support yesterday, Rob, at Almonville from Dundee. Thousands there, probably 4,000 or 5,000. And you have to, again, ask the question, the club are in financial trouble, they need the support of the fans, but they're not turning up regular enough. And when you see the amount they can bring to games, then that's got to be frustrating, not only for Jim Duffy and the players, but for the board of directors who are trying to put the club back on a stable footing.
And while we ponder Dundee's immediate future, they've gone down.
Yep.
You do still fear for some of the teams that have actually stayed up, because, you know, financially they would seem to be pretty frail as well.
Yeah, Paul Lambert's going in on a 3-year contract at Livingston. Piers Flynn is the chairman there. What kind of financial state are they in? We don't really know. Dunfermline have had a huge wage bill. We heard Jim Leishman earlier talking about they've reduced that by £30,000 or £40,000. So that's affected their performance. But again, they don't get big crowds. And again, there's not many teams in the SPL that are on a sound financial footing. Some can sustain it better than others, but the ones down the bottom or near the bottom are the ones that you fear for.
So Dundee finished bottom, they go down. Rangers finished top at the end of a season which incorporated 19 changes of leadership at the top of the table. It's been quite remarkable, Ian, how they've traded places week in, week out. And Rangers, I guess, have shown today that if you keep plugging away, then you might just come through.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should all have known this was going to happen because, you know, the season's been so unpredictable. I think you guys were saying earlier when Rangers beat Celtic, when Celtic beat Rangers, sorry, at Ibrox a few weeks ago, 5 points, and in our country with the two big clubs, 5 points is quite a lot. At that point, Celtic looked stonewall certainties, but Rangers kept plugging away, and it's to their credit, you know, and it's good as a Scottish manager and a Scottish assistant manager, so I'm pleased for them.
You yearn maybe for more football quality in this country, Craig, but we certainly couldn't ask for better competition.
You took the words out of my mouth there, Rob, because I was just going to say, I think it's been a great season. A huge improvement in the last one. I mean, there was a 17-point gap between the two at the top. Look at Aberdeen, it finished second bottom. They could have ended up in the UEFA Cup spot today. Hibs were revitalised. Rangers plugged that gap and went on to narrowly win the championship. Yes, we can always improve the quality, but the finances are not quite there. There's some young players coming through for Walter Smith to look at. And I think it's been a huge improvement. It's went all the way to the end, and we can only be pleased about that.
The biggest plus, without a doubt, for me is the three big clubs. I would say Dundee United are just after that, but the three big clubs, Hibs, Hearts and Aberdeen, have all improved. Hearts has went back a wee bit, but they've all been in the top six, and that's great for our game because they do create atmospheres at the grounds they go to, and we're not reliant so much on Celtic and Rangers.
And if there's any doubts, Craig, about the break-up of Celtic in the summer, I guess today maybe draws a line under it.
Yeah, I think it does, and I think, you know, there'll be many eyes at Celtic Park in the coming weeks to see the noises and see what's happening coming out. They've got a cup final to play in, but as I say earlier, it's been a great season. Rangers have went on to be champions, and I think they've thoroughly deserved it, considering where they were at some stage of the season and under severe pressure.
Hope you've enjoyed this afternoon of drama on Setanta Sports and Setanta Soccer. Thanks a lot to Craig Burley and to Ian McCall for joining me in the studio. It's been an incredible season of twists and turns, but maybe the biggest twist in the tale was saved to last. Rangers are champions. Bye for now.